Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1237. Good Saturday morning. Welcome to the weekend. Today started literally a new chapter. We woke up with a new puppy. Yeah, as predicted. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't leaving without that puppy yesterday. So we did go to the breeder, same breeder that my wife got Biscuit from, and she's a Havanese breeder. And so the Havanese, when we walked up, they just started barking, a whole bunch of them. It was like heaven. Ernie was up front in the front room, and then she has one of her dogs that she uses for breeding, and such a sweetheart. She was out, so we got to play with the Havanese formerly known as Wolfie. We renamed him Ernie. And I can't remember the other dogs. I don't even know if I know the other dogs' names, but if she said, she's like, oh, how about we'll bring these two out, and there was like 8 of them. And at one point they were all like just huddled around me. I had one in my lap, one up here. They all wanted pets. And I don't know what she was saying. Fortunately, my wife was listening, that's just how our relationship works. I was busy petting puppies, and so my wife probably 3 times says, "What do you think? Should we take him?" And I'm like, "Fuck yes! Are you kidding me?" So I was 100% on board with bringing the now Havanese known as Ernie home. Just a 10-week-old little pup. My wife this morning. So we've already done his morning routine. So today's a little different. I mean, first of all, it's the first day, but also it's the weekend. So it's not like my routine. It's it's already after 9:00. But I was up at 6, doing my internet thing, scrolling the internets, and it's 7, my little before 7, 6:45. My wife woke up and she's like, "What time is it?" And I'm like, "It's 6:45." And she's like, "We need to take him out." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "I don't have any pants." Like, I'm just in my underwear. So she's like, "I'll take him out." So she took him out, and then so he gets 3 meals a day. So he gets like 1.5 ounces of his food in the morning, at lunchtime, and at dinner time. So my wife gave him his breakfast. Unlike Biscuit, Ernie likes to eat, which is kind of a nice. That was the only knock on Biscuit. She just, man, we had to, more times than not, we had to spoon feed her and like pick food out of her bowl with our hand. She was a very picky eater. She did not eat leftovers. So Ernie gobbles up his dog food, and so put him back into bed. He's awake and wants to play, and then all of a sudden he gets, and like the breeder said, probably 15 minutes after he eats, he goes poop, and so my wife's like, "I think he's got to go poop." She's like, "It's your turn." So I'm like, "I got to go put my pants on." So I took him out, and he pooped right away. And neighbors came, so the neighbors met him. Neighbors were walking their dog, Agatha. And their dog, Agatha, acts like like you would think Agatha, like, oh, grumpy old lady. That's their dog, grumpy old lady dog. So Agatha, they did not meet because Agatha's she's a bitch, a female dog. She is. Poor Agatha. So so she pooped, came back in. She's like teething, so she's a biter, trying to get her off that. So my wife's gonna go, and actually we'll probably both go to PetSmart today and get some new stuff for her. So she settled down, and then I'm still kind of tired. I'm a little tired, so I snoozed for like 20 minutes, woke up, scrolled for a little bit, and Ernie is like on the pillow between us, my wife and I, and like upside down, hanging off the pillow. And I'm like, I don't want to wait. He looks so cute, precious. I don't want to wake him. So he moved to the pillow behind my wife. So I'm like, okay, now's my chance. And of course, as I'm getting up, he repositions to the pillow between us again. And hopefully I made my coffee this morning, and I did not hear him whining. We were actually going to, because he's used to his crate, and he slept in his crate, and it's like, let's just, it's first night, new place. He's not like, he didn't cry. I mean, he's right at home, which is a good sign. But when we put him in the crate to go night, he starts crying, and my wife's like, let's give it 2 minutes. And he cried for the first minute, and she goes, okay, that's enough. And I knew, like, we're going to put him in his bed. Let's see. Like, my thought was, let's put him in his crate. If he's comfortable right off the bat, we'll let him be. But if he starts crying, it's bedtime. And he did really well. Slept, and Biscuit she slept in our bed all the way through. So it's nothing new to us. So and he would, even if he did sleep in his crate, he would eventually transition to bed sleep eventually. But we broke him in right away. So and he slept through the night, didn't go up to get didn't have to go out and go potty at all. We took him out, first thing this morning, and he only had one accident yesterday. We had taken him to go potty as soon as we got home, and he's still sniffing around. I think he was still just kind of in like, oh wow, what's going on? So he did pee inside one time, but that was it. And he's got a pee pad just in case. So we just been taking him out often. He met our neighbor dog Rookie, who I believe is a golden doodle. Rookie's still young. I guess he's still a puppy. He's like 2.5, which he still has a lot of puppy energy and doesn't know his size. So he's like, they're both playing, and Ernie has been around, 8 other Havanese. And so he's used to bigger dogs, bigger than him dogs. So he has no fear. So we'll have to, but the good thing is, like, watching him, like, he would antagonize the other Havanese, but they would snap at him, and he knew his limits, and he would go right up to that limit. He knew it. So Ernie, we had decided, and thank you. I think Cooter said he suggested Ernie. I couldn't remember who. I know it came through in the suggestions yesterday. And of course, Ernie Banks. I like the name, and I wanted a dog name that ended in like an E sound, like Ernie, Teddy. And so I suggested Ernie, and my wife was like, oh yeah, I kind of like that. And she's like, how about Teddy? And he does kind of look like a little teddy bear. It's like, okay, Teddy. And then I could name, and I'm like, oh, and his nickname could be Teddy Ballgame. And my wife's like, what's that mean? And I'm like, Teddy Ballgame, Ted Williams. And then she's like, Winston. So Winston was kind of like the dark horse. So those were like the final 3. And it really came down to Ernie and Teddy. So I tweeted that out. And Ernie was by far the popular name. What were the results? So 438 votes, 68.5% voted Ernie. So here's Ernie. Ernie's sleeping right now, but here's Ernie when he first got home. Oh, he's just such a precious puppers. There he is. There's Ernie. There's Ernie. He actually, in that photo, he looks exactly like Biscuit when Biscuit was a little puppy, and down to the little white on her head, on his head. Biscuit had the same little white streak, but Ernie's actually brown. He looks black in pictures, and in fact, I thought he was black, and my wife had mentioned something about the brown and white one. I'm like, brown and white one. And if you look close, he actually is brown, not black. So that is Ernie. And so my wife took Ernie into her office when shortly after we got back. And when she got home, I said, so here's the results. Here's so far the result. Like, it's like 70% voting for Ernie. And she goes, so I asked everybody at the office, and every single person said Ernie. So that it's like, Ernie's your new name. So Ernie Banks, our new little puppers, little precious guy. Let's go to the chat. Steve, happy Saturday. Ernie is doing well. Brian, what's going on? Good morning. Kyle, what's happening? Happy Saturday morning. Hope Ernie had a good first night. He sure did. Brian says, you went out and you found that fucking dog the Billy Madison way. Philly Joe, good morning. Congrats on the great pickup. How about a reveal? My wife actually said, are you going to bring him on your show? And I'm like, well, we'll see. And she's like, well, the people watching are probably going to want to see him. And I'm like, I know, but I'll bring him maybe tomorrow. We'll see when he makes his Hobby Evolution debut. Cooter says, since I suggested Ernie, you need to at least give him Cooter as a middle name. I'm sure your wife will go for it. Ernie Cooter. Good morning, George. Good evening to you. Sheena, what's going on? He's on his way to Oak Creek, Salvation Army, Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Big card show today. I will not. I got to get back to Oak Creek. I haven't been to the show that since I think last summer was the last time that, or when was it? August or September, I think, was the last time I was. It is August already. My God. Orlando's here. What's going on? Good morning. Thank you. Appreciate that. Cooter says, since you keep saying she, her, is she self-identifying as a female? I am terrible. I keep doing it. In like my wife catches me doing it, and I'm like, I know. This morning when the neighbors were walking by, and I could tell the neighbor was like looking, and I'm like, this is our new puppy. It's Ernie, and I'm pretty sure I said she a couple times, and my neighbor goes, is it a boy or girl? And I said, it's a boy, it's Ernie. And she goes, well, you said it was Ernie, but you said she. And I'm like, yeah, it's 10 years of, just used to saying she. So yes, it's a he, it's an Ernie. He has a penis. Mr. Archer, good morning. Steve, huge kudos to you making the call on a new dog. It's been 2 months since I lost Pebbles, and I still struggle when the time will be right for a new dog. And yeah, everybody's different. And I don't know if your situation was sudden or if there was, if you knew the time was coming. And I think we were quick to make that decision. And I think regardless, for me, I think I had time to grieve. My wife, I think, would have been ready no matter what. But yeah, if it would have been sudden, I would have wanted more time. But we knew, and we had a couple months, we knew she had a heart condition. A few months ago, I can't remember when she was diagnosed with the heart condition. Might have been several months ago. And then when she really took the turn for the worst was in mid-June. And that was when she was going into heart failure. And we were able to kick out of it. And that was when I knew, like, okay, that was and I had a real hard time that weekend when she was having her issues. That was real, and I thought, I don't think she has much time. And then she went into the second heart failure, and that's when it was like, and again, we thought we were going to have to put her down that night. She bounced out of it, but then it was much quicker. So I think having that 2 months, almost 2 months of like knowing, okay, we're literally in the final stages. I think that for me, that helped transition quicker than if it would have been like, when my dog passed away. The only other dog I've had was Boomer when I was a kid and into college, and he was hit by a car, and that was, he was not in not in his final stages, so that was sudden, and I don't think I would have been ready. Even if I was in different circumstances. I was in college, so I mean, getting a new dog was not in the cards for me. But I think I would have needed time to get over the grief and all that. Mikey's in the house. Good morning, Mikey. What's up? Orlando says, beautiful dog. Great choice. Thank you. Kyle says, Ernie is just a good name. I love it. Steve says, definitely sudden decline in passing, all within 30 hours. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's awful. We do have Lily, so we still have a dog, just quieter with only one instead of two. Yeah. And it was really hard for us coming home to an empty house. And it just feels right. And that's good. You don't want to make a rash decision and then be like, I'm not ready. I think we were ready, and I think we knew it. We were ready. So yeah, and it's just, something exciting to go, upstairs, and, the last few days was really hard, going up to fix lunch, and I'm not making a bowl for Biscuit, and I'm not talking to Biscuit, and there's no puppy on the couch to talk to. So that was really hard, and my wife, the same thing, coming home from the office and no wagging tail, and it was really hard the last few days. So now there's joy again with a puppy in our house. Cooter says, logging my new Giants refractors while watching. The USPS really tried to destroy the bubble mailer, but cards are okay. Good to hear. The extra cardboard overlapping the cards saved them. Excellent. That's good to hear. I hate when I hear about destroyed bubble mailers, but as long as the cards are good, all is well. So yeah, speaking of that, Cooter got the Giants team lot from my eBay store. I've been putting together refractor team lots, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. I do have a couple refractor lots available. There's 50 different refractors in the lots. There's a Kansas City Royals refractor lot in my store. There's also a New York Yankees refractor lot. And if anybody else has any needs for, I shouldn't say needs, nobody needs refractors or baseball cards, but if you're in the market and want a lot of refractors, let me know a team and I can put something together. 99centcards.com. I did add, what did I add yesterday? I did add Gary Carter rookie card. Man, it went fast. I priced it well. It was $10 and it got gobbled up really quickly. I've got the beautiful, I actually thought about submitting it to PSA. It's a beautiful 1976. Are they Kellogg's 3D Superstars? I don't know. But it's the 3D Superstars. I should watch the basement tapes. I did watch the 1977 Topps basement tapes yesterday with John Keating, that 70s card show. 1976, so second year Gary Carter, 3D Superstars, no cracks, sharp, really good looking card. It is in my eBay store right now. What else did what else is the latest? Let's see. Oh. Here, let's just type in 99 cent. There we go. All right. Latest, newly listed, the 3D Superstars Gary Carter. There's a 2000 Pacific Ornaments Peyton Manning. I think that may have come from. See, I've bought so much bulk here lately. I don't know if that was in the Goodwill pallet or if that was in the Singles Club bulk buy. But I was going to put it in one of my dollar boxes, and I did some comps, and it's like a $25 card. I'm like, oh, okay. I listed some vintage basketball, 71, 72, Calvin Murphy, a Rick Mount rookie. There was a couple Jackson Holiday Goodwin champions in the Singles Club purchase. So those are up. I added, did I add anything yesterday? I don't think so. I might have added some of these Bowman paper color, orange and blue. So numbered out at 250 and 500. Those might have been my latest bulk upload. So check it out, 99centcards.com. 7 or more items at regular price. You'll save 25% off. And I think I'm going to go purge some of my old inventory. I think that's kind of what my focus is. I think that's kind of what my focus is going to be for the month of August is kind of purge some of the stale inventory that's in my eBay store. Some of it does sell, but I think at first I'm going to focus on some auctions and stuff that, was in purchases that like, okay, this is a year old, 2 years old. It's going to sell for what it's going to sell for. And if I lower the buy it now price, it may move. I saw that with the Leody Taveras. I think I did that live here on the show. I had it listed at first on the market price of $50. And I'm like, ugh. So I repriced it $20 and it sold same day. So whatever day that was that I did that. So repricing can definitely move some stuff. And I have seen some stuff that I have repriced sell pretty quickly. So, but I think I'm going to roll some auctions out and some of the autos maybe that were first on the market price. I know I have some like Heritage Minor League and Topps Pro Debut autos that are basically early market pricing that, okay, these aren't the prices. 99 cent them. Probably do 99-cent shipping so they don't sell at 99-cent free shipping, because I did create a new shipping policy for auctions. So I'll run my auction policy on that. So at least I get some 99-cent. Gregory, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. $5. Appreciate everything you do. I appreciate that. What is the best place to buy Goodwill pallets? I can't reveal my secret, even though I thank you for the $5, but I can't give away my secret. But if you go to Goodwill, is it goodwill.com? There are pallets that come up for sale on the Goodwill website. So there are, sometimes it's buy it now, sometimes it's auctions. You can buy them and have them shipped. Now, I think you have to arrange the shipping. Shipping's probably going to be pretty pricey. But if you're in, I know Minnesota has them. Arizona has them. I think I've seen them pop up in Pittsburgh, maybe. I thought there was some in Penn. I thought John said there weren't, but I thought I've seen some pop up in that. Maybe I'm misspoken. But yeah, it just kind of depends on I know for sure Arizona, Minnesota have pallets. Phoenix and Minneapolis areas. But that's what I can tell you. And they also have some of the smaller lots that you can buy. I think those are going to be kind of garbage. If you really want a good return on something from Goodwill, the pallet is the way to go if you can find them. Where are we at? I mentioned Topps Pro Debut. I didn't even notice the 50% increase. I was looking at pricing the other day, wrong address. Blowoutcards.com. Releases this week. Wow, $100. Wow. What did I pay last year? Let's see. I'll log into my account. Let's see. View all orders. When let's see, it probably will. We're way back. Let's see, April, March, December. Oh, ERNIE's up. Maybe it was in August. It was. Okay, so I paid, oh my God. Let's go back to the pricing on these. All right. So last year, blowoutcards.com. Let's see. So last year I bought a jumbo case. Trending pre-orders. Where's the case pricing? Case. So last year I ordered a jumbo case from Blowout for $760. They are now $940. So yes, a significant increase on Topps Pro Debut. I still think that's a good deal. I don't know with how much inventory I have accumulated and acquired, I should say, acquired over the last couple months. I'm probably out on Pro Debut. I love Pro Debut. I still think at $100 for a hobby box, it's a fun rip, and you can probably get your money back if you rip and flip it. If you buy it early, if you get it week of, and if you list everything. You can't cherry pick what you want and expect a good return. But you might be. Pro Debut is one of those products that it's really a nickel and dime type of product where you're going to get the most return out of the base, out of the commons, where you can get those. And sometimes it can be a slow roll. You might move a lot of them at release. But it's also a product where it's not as important. Top Series 1, probably the best return on investment when it comes to ripping and flipping, but you also have to be listing within like 24 hours of release. And like, you got to get everything up. Where Pro Debut is a product where you can wait and it's not as important. And you'll see a lot of your sales come in the off season as buyers prepare for next season and autographs and prospecting. So which prospecting months are typically December, January, February. So I still think even with that big increase on Pro Debut this year, I still think it's a good buy. If you rip and flip, do it right, there's still money to be made. The margins, obviously, the difference between what was it, $760 and $940. Your margins are going to be smaller because your return is going to be about the same. Like you're not getting an additional $200 value out of that case, or an additional $40, $30 from that hobby box. So still think it's a good buy. Timing is just not right for me right now with everything that I still have some boxes. I think most of the good stuff from the latest Goodwill palette, I think I've gone through and found. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that it's like, oh crap. And like I listed that Manning, that actually, now that I think of it, that didn't come from either the Goodwill palette or the Singles Club. That actually came from my bulk buy from Steve, last month, whenever that was. So, because now I remember it was actually priced at $2 at a card show. And I don't know who he bought it from, somebody who would set up at card shows. So it went through at least a card show and Steve's garage sale and didn't sell for $2, and it's a $25 card. So I'm hoping to find some more things like that. I just haven't done a deep dive. I think a lot of the value from that particular purchase is going to come from the non-sport. There was a non-sport box with a bunch of autos, relics, and I think some of the value is going to be coming from those singles. So Brian bought a break. It was broken. 1 of 1. Mason Wynn was pulled. It was a Cardinal banger box. I got one Sosa insert. I quit breaking. Yeah, I'm not a big. The only time that I do breaks are if priced right. Cubs, Bowman draft. I like Elite Extra Edition, but I haven't bought into a break in a while. I think I did a high-end Cubs break or in the spring. I can't remember which product it was, but sometimes those are fun. but I'm not big on breaking. Philly Joe says, grooming for Ernie, high maintenance. He is very fluffy. So I don't know. We'll see. But Havanese typically not. We took Biscuit in for grooming every couple months. My wife would brush her, but their Havanese are not shedding dogs. So they're actually pretty easy to maintain. They're not, it's not like a golden retriever or the hairy Husky. They don't shed. They do need brush so they don't get knotted up and stuff, but pretty easy to maintain. Mark Marinello's in the house. Good morning. Happy you guys got a new puppy. Thanks for the W's versus the Redbirds. Hey, anytime we can get a dub against the Cardinals, we love it. 2 for 2. Let's go for 3 today. Brian says, and talk to your local thrift stores. There you go. I was actually this morning, when I didn't want to get Ernie up, I was looking at looking for auction, local auctions and estate sales, and didn't really find much, which I think is going to be. I got that taste. I got that estate sale taste in my mouth, and now I'll probably never taste that again. I'm lucky I got to taste it once. Cooter said, I heard Forever 21 has great Goodwill pallets. Check it out, Forever 21. Brian says there's a dude on YouTube who buys the smaller lots and opens them. He has done decent. Interesting. Carrie says hobby boxes were $65 last year, and that's an even better buy. Yeah, $100 is after paying $65 a year ago. $100 is a hard pill to swallow. But I still do think there's value, and I'm not surprised it went up that much because there's still going to be I'm not big on high priced wax, and I think it's a good deal at $100. I'm surprised there's any product that's under $100. Topps Big League is going to be, I have a feeling Topps Big League is going to be $100 a box. Well, I don't know what it was. I can probably bring it up because I think I ordered it from Blowout. That would have been, was that my March order? It was. So $9.50 for 20 boxes. So that's like $50 a box, isn't it? Yeah, right around $50 a box, 48, something like that. But it would not surprise me if Topps Big League goes back to, and maybe not quite 100 yet. Maybe next year it goes up to 75. But if you're a Big League fan, be prepared. You're going to see you're not going to see $50 Big League boxes anymore. They're going to be 75. I'm surprised they were 50 this year. But next year I would say 75, and then maybe a couple years down the road, if they keep the product, it's going to go to a typical 12-box case. Right now, there's still 20-box cases. It wouldn't surprise me if they change the SKUs down to 12 boxes in the future, and like a typical, brand from Topps. Red Light 34 is late, but here. Welcome. Good morning. We're always late on Saturday. It's okay. Max says that's a lot of base card sales. It is, but hey, that's all about volume sales. That's all about volume sales. And not everybody is equipped to do that. If you don't have followers, if you don't have a regular customer base, it's going to be more difficult for just somebody that, if you're only randomly selling on eBay and you want to rip and flip a case, it's probably going to be a losing effort. But if you're an established eBay seller with a decent customer base and you have some followers, it can be done. So I don't want to speak out of and get false hopes up like, oh, just rip a case and make money, because there's a lot that goes into it. Red Light 34, yes, we sure did. His name is Ernie. Let's see. Brian says $29 for 2023 Big League boxes right now. There you go. That's Brian's jam. Max says Big League was half of that price at the National. It can be pulled from the product line before it hits 100. Probably, does it ever hit 100? I would, if I were to get, so I think they're going to keep it for 2025, but it's probably going to be $70, $75 a box. My guess, and I'm kind of with you, Max, it will be pulled before they raise the price to 100. Like, I think the likelihood of it just ending is better than it hitting 100. And I think both of those instances, but I also think hitting 100 is more likely than it staying at 50 or settling at 60. I think we're going to see increases of even the low end product like Topps Big League. Grinding for Good. Happy Saturday. Red Light says, I'll be sending you a big offer on some cards later when I get home from work. I anticipate that. Thank you. I appreciate it. 99centcards.com. If you're going to card shows today, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, I know their show is today. I think the Schaumburg show is tomorrow. I'll be at Janesville next Sunday, a week from tomorrow. I'll have dollar boxes. I'll have dollar boxes and maybe some quarter boxes. I think I'll do hockey, soccer, and maybe some like non-sport. I've put together a bunch of non-sport stuff, so maybe put some of that together. And I think here as we get into fall, I'll do another YouTube live sale once I get my footing back from the summer stuff. Maybe that'll be a nice like pre-Dallas card show. By the way, I am going to Dallas. Confirmed. I just got to book my flight, which is easy. I've got a flight credit that I canceled my spring last year. This past spring, I canceled my flight because the prices had dropped like $200. So I canceled my flight, rebooked at the lower price, and they gave me flight credit instead of a refund. So I'm sitting on that flight, and you have to use it within a year, which I actually might be able to use since I'm going earlier this year. So I might actually be able to get in time. But if not, I can use it for my flight to Oklahoma City, in fact, which is a lot cheaper. A flight from Madison to Oklahoma City is cheaper than a flight from Madison to Dallas. With a layover. There's a layover in actually I think the best flight is through O'Hare. It's Madison, Chicago, Oklahoma City. But then there's also one that goes through Dallas, which is cheaper than flying straight to Dallas. It's like I can go Madison to Dallas to Oklahoma City, cheaper than Madison to Dallas. It's like that doesn't make sense. So Cooter and I talked this week. So I am going to fly in on Friday, Halloween, and gonna stay in Oklahoma City, and then we are going to drive down to Dallas on Saturday. So I'll be at the Dallas Card Show, my first trip to the Dallas Card Show. Looking forward to it. Get to see Uncle Rich again. Get to see Steph and Angela again. Dr. Beckett if he's there, and hopefully I can meet Ken. I've never met Ken, Bean's Ball Card Blog, so hopefully I can meet him. Max says, anybody else seeing these trends of most sealed product retreating in price after release or just me? Most of them are, yes. And this is actually, I kind of like this because this is what I remember as being normal. Pre-COVID, this happened frequently. Outside of depending on release. Now, if it's 2011 Topps update, but you go back and look, most of the products you buy sealed, like you've got to rip it right away. If you leave it sealed, you're going to lose money unless it's a breakout product. That was more often than not. Again, there were exceptions. COVID hits, even 1990 Topps. I couldn't believe I went to the former LCS here in town when it was flooded out. He started doing garage sales from his garage. And it was during COVID, and I went to one of his garage sales, and he had a 1990 Topps wax box for $50. And I'm like, $50? This is insane. I go home and I had a couple on my shelf. Sure as shit, they're selling on eBay for $50. I put them on eBay, boom, they sold right away. Disagree. It's like legitimately, it's truth. Like go back and look. It's not my opinion. It's legitimate. Most sealed products declined in price after release. Pre-sales were always really cheap. And then they went up. They slightly escalated toward release. They were at the highest point at release. And then the prices dropped. I was ripping and flipping cases. And I'm talking circa 2015, 2016, 2017. By 2018, things had turned. And it was kind of like not all the time like that by 2018. And then once COVID turned everything upside down, and then sealed wax became, everybody wants it, and prices just continued to go up to the moon. But 2015, 2016, 2017, not the case. And I can tell you, because I was buying boxes and cases, some of it I would hold sealed, it would drop in price. A lot of products, not all, most products would do that. Those were the days, man. Those were the days I could go back and I think it was 2017 blowout Black Friday, 2011 Topps Heritage Minor League. I bought a case for how much? $500. And then I immediately sold each box. So I think I paid $60 a box, and I immediately sold most of them for like $100. And then during COVID, they went up to like $500, $600. Those were the days. The low end stuff, Ginter, Heritage, GQ, are all way higher from those years. Now they are. But this is where I'm talking just like your Topps Big League and what you're talking about. Big League was half the price at the National. The same thing was happening with Ginter, Heritage, and GQ in 2017. You buy a box of Ginter for $60, which is probably about what they were in 2016, 2017. It was $40, $50 by the end of the year. Now, of course, it's much higher because there's less supply. And you're probably going to see the same thing happening. Now, Big League is an outlier. Big League Top Series 1 is not really there's so much of it produced. Ginter, Heritage. Look at Heritage here recently. You can buy like Heritage High Number from last year for like $40 a box. And that went down, pretty quickly. Things are going back to what they used to. But in 10 years, I bet that Heritage High Number is worth more, and even taking into account inflation, it's still probably going to be higher than what it's selling for right now. I'm not saying go out and buy a bunch, but Bargain Boxer says, do you have any sealed boxes cases left? Not really. I have a case of 2016 Topps Update Mega Boxes. I have a case of 2020 or 2021 Topps Update. I have a couple boxes of the, and this I just bought like a year ago, of the Japan baseball, Topps Chrome Japan from I think 2022. Just a couple boxes. I have some other Topps Update, but not from like big years. They're kind of the crappy years. So whatever the crappy years, 16, man, certainly not 18. 2020, I think I have a couple boxes. $2020 Topps Update. I have two boxes left of 2020 Topps Update. I have a case of 2022 Chrome Update, case of the 16 update mega boxes, and then I have a whole bunch of hanger boxes from WWE Heritage 2017 WWE Heritage, I think. Let's see. They were before COVID too, always higher than the release from the current year. Well, I'm going back to your original statement of the price is dropping, which is what they're doing. And that's what they always did. Now, 10 years later, of course they go up if there's less supply. I think we both agree. You're agreeing with me. I'm agreeing with you. I don't think there's any disagreement. Finest comes out this week. $300 a box. I'm out. $5 a card. They were a Topps exclusive like 6 years ago at $125, and Topps couldn't sell them. One of the years, it was Topps Finest was a Topps exclusive, and it was $50 a box. And I think it was 2020. And it was $50 a box, and they were being resold for $400. This is right during the COVID craze. So then Topps jacked up the price to like $200 or $250 the following year. And I don't know. I think they were still selling for $300-$400 a box on the secondary market. Obviously, your margins are different, a lot less. But I think it's just kind of, again, that was Topps Finest on Topps exclusive, Topps Finest, F1, and Kobe White and Bull Bull. All died after COVID. Philly Joe says later, Hobby Hotline in a couple. Have a great one. Thank you. 4 minutes away from Hobby Hotline. I think I've said enough for the day. I've got some shipping to do. We'll go check in on. Oh, I did return my laptop. I watched, I ended up getting a shitty laptop. Wasn't paying close enough attention. I watched a review the other night on, what day is today? Thursday night. I watched a review and, was having the same issues with the Wi-Fi and connecting to websites that I was having. And it's like, initially I thought maybe it's my Wi-Fi. I think it's the actual shitty laptop that I bought. So return label printed. It is going back. I already bought a new laptop. Try it again. I bought an HP. So that will be delivered today. I love Amazon. So new laptop comes today. Alrighty, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more items at regular price. Save 25% off at checkout. That's not just for singles. That includes lots. I've got reseller bulk lots. I've got refractor lots. I've got player lots. I've got singles. I've got vintage. Fuck Apple. I hate iMacs. I'm team PC till death do us part. But I have an iPhone. I don't know. Can't explain it. I hate iMacs. I hate Apple computers. But I can't do Apple computers, but I love my iPhone. Can't explain it. All right. Like, subscribe, eBay store. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. See you then.